Jacob's Wife is currently in theaters right now, in select theaters. We had a showing up in Flagstaff, and we had a showing down in Prescott. And I got to go and see this today, and this stars Barbara Crampton and Larry Fessenden. And, I went into this blind, as I do with a lot. If it's horror, I'm there. I'm going to support it. And so there I am. So I went in blind, and I quite enjoyed this. I actually had a pretty good time with this. It's it's got some comedy in it, no doubt about it. But it does really try to stick to the horror and the drama, which I quite liked. With Larry Fessenden and whatnot, you know you're going to get some playfulness to it. It's not going to be 100% straightforward, but I like Crampton and Fessenden in this. I think everyone's pretty good. Now, as far as what the movie's about, this is where going in blind for me was cool because I legitimately had no clue at all what this film was about. But I'm going to tell you right now what the film is about. If you don't want to hear about that, you can go in blind. I do think it's worth your time. It's got some really good kills. It's got some cool ass gore, really over the top shit, almost like Evil Dead esque blood spray. Just someone's neck gets cut and it's like like a river is fucking coming out of it. It's outrageous. But some of the gore gags are really cool and elevated the film for sure. So there you go with that kind of stuff. And yeah, not everything's perfect, but I quite liked this one a good amount. Now, as far as the synopsis goes, there is Jacob, played by Larry Fessenden, and his wife, played by Barbara Crampton, and their relationship is stagnant. He's a minister at this church, and she is his wife, who is kind of this bored housewife. She doesn't feel like she's being, you know, noticed. She doesn't feel like she's being loved. She doesn't feel like, and so she goes off and she does something about that. And upon doing so, she encounters a monster, and this monster makes her one of those monsters. I'm sure you can guess what I'm getting at here. But this film has some really fun gags in it. It has some really cool kills, as I had said. I liked the story. I liked the performances. I had a good time with this one. And I definitely think it's one that people should keep their eye out for. It's not amazing. It wasn't blown away, but I did quite enjoy this. And this is a subgenre that I'm not really fond of typically. So for this one to work, the movie has to have something really going for it. And I felt like this one did. But yeah, I don't know when this is going to get itself to VOD streaming. I hope soon enough, because I think that a lot of people will dig on this movie. But yeah, I mean, definitely look for it. Look for it when it comes. I think it's a Shudder film, which is kind of annoying to me that Shudder does that. I get it. They're trying to make extra money and whatnot. They're going to release it in theaters before they release it there. But I just feel like Shudder, if it's a Shudder film, it should be released on Shudder the day it comes out. That's just my personal opinion on the matter. They can do whatever the fuck they want. But I'm pretty sure this one was Shudder. And yeah, I mean, the comedy isn't too much. I think that the comedy is a good blend. There's an interaction between Barbara Crampton and some kid who comes out to talk to them who they don't want around. And what is said in that exchange made me laugh out loud. I thought it was pretty damn funny. And yeah, I just kind of like the story and how it's really just a story about, loneliness and dealing with a marriage that isn't going so well. And it's kind of like, well, when shit is really hit the fan, like what are you really made of? The only thing I really just did not like about the movie is the main monster of the film and the way it looked. I just found it to be very wimpy. Like, I was sitting there like, is this for real? Like, is this thing supposed to be intimidating? Am I supposed to be scared by this thing? I just am not. I find it to be silly. I mean, not in a good way at all. It was just looked very wimpy to me. Um, and it definitely was trying to look similar to like Barlow in Salem's Lot. Um, but man, the kills that happen in this film are wild and a must see. So that's really what to go in for. But you might quite like the the characters as well, and what's going on. Is It's a fairly basic thing, but I did dig this one, and I will be recommending it. So when it drops on Shutter, you should check it out. It's lower budgeted. It also features two older characters as the leads. This is something that we don't get too often, and I think that's a shame. And I feel like, you know, you don't always have to have some hot 20-year-old girl and her boyfriend be the stars of your horror movie. Like, old people are relatable too. Old people make it interesting. Old people don't make as dumb of decisions, and they have more going for them. And I like that. I like, um, so We Are Still Here. Is that the movie? Is that the name of the movie with the old couple? It's cool. It's cool because typically you see like what's supposed to be like 17, 18-year-old girls in high school or something is what's end up dealing with horror. But when you get these older actors, they're not like super old or anything, but I think they're in their 60s. And Barbara Crampton, holy shit, man, she shows her tits in this movie. Well, one of them anyways. I was like, oh my god, she still looks fantastic, man. So good on her for that. And her performances, she's chewing the scenery, as they say. They're really giving it their all and maybe going a little too much at times, but whatever, man. This is a fun film. It is pretty serious, but it does have a playful side to it. It's kind of it's self-aware. But yeah, some really, as I said, my favorite part of the film for sure is the kills. Secondary is the performances. So it's a good one. It's a good one. And let me know if you watch it, when you can watch it. Adios.